In this video, we are going to study a program called Messages.java. So this is a very simple example program in which we have another static method inside a class in addition to the main method. And we will see how to call the method, and I will also modify the program so that we can see that what is a method parameter. Well, my name is Karilainen, and let's then start studying the program. So you can find the program when you go to naturalprogramming.com and you select the Java page, and in the Java page you will find the Messages.java here. I have already downloaded the file, and let's see how it works. The program is really simple. So I have already compiled it, but let's recompile it and let's rerun it. So that is the output of the program. It says first statement in method main, and then there is some text lines with the lowercase letters, and then there is one text line with uppercase letters, and then there are 3 lines again printed with lowercase letters, and then there is 1 line with mostly uppercase letters. So the program looks like this. So that we have as usual, we have some class definition here, so that we have a class named Messages, and normally we have had always inside a class we have had this main method, but now in this example we have another method here, and the name of the method is print message. So this is the method name. And how this program works, it is as usual. It starts when we run the program, the statements inside the main method are executed, and so it happens so that then this is the first statement to be executed, and then this is the second statement to be executed. But this is now a call to the method defined earlier. So this is now a call. We say that it is we call so we call the above method. So we write the name of the method, a pair of empty parentheses and a semicolon, and so the method name. So these names must correspond or be the same. And so what happens here, the execution of the program goes to this method, and the internal statements of this method are then executed. So then this statement is executed, and then this statement, and then this statement. And then this closing brace marks the end of the method. So then the control returns to the calling program or calling method. And this means in practice that we go back to the statement that follows the original method call. So this means that this will be the next statement to be executed. And then normally we go forward, and this is the next statement, and then this is again a call to the above method. So this means that after this statement, these 3 statements will be executed, and then the control returns to the statement following the method call, and in practice it means this statement. And this is now the last statement that is executed. So this is a method. So we call it a method. This is now method named print message, and then we call a method with the name of the method, and we use a semicolon here, and please note that there is no semicolon here. So no semicolon here. And well, now you can understand that also this main method or these methods look the same in many ways, and so the main method, or you can think that the main method is called by the program execution system, and therefore it has to have this name main, so that the execution system can call it with that name. So this is the method, and I have actually printed. We can take a look at the output of the method. So I actually printed it, but well, there is not nothing special here. But maybe one thing you may be wondering, that here we have this backslash, or here we have this backslash and the double quotation mark. So the reason for this is that we want to have in the output, we want to have these double quotation marks printed like this. So we have this, we want to have these printed like this, and because the general rule is that when you specify a string or string literal, you mark it with the beginning and the end of the string literal with a double quotation marks. But then there is a problem that if you want to include the double quotation mark into the string, then you have to write it like this, backslash and the double quotation mark. So in this case, it doesn't mean the end of the string, but it means that the double quotation mark is part of the one character in the string. Yes, and if you, I also made this drawing. So the general structure of this program is like this: that we have the class definition, and we have the method print message, and we have the main method. So, and these are you can say that here we have the internal we could call them we could call them internal statements of print message, and then these are the internal statements of the main method. And of course, you will see in the future that you can have these methods. There can be many methods inside a single class. So let's then modify this program a little bit to learn some more things. I spoke something about parameters. So this is actually also a parameter for the main method, but well, I will explain it later on. But when there is this empty pair of parentheses, it means that this method does not require or take any parameters. But we could modify this program so that this would take some parameters, and for that reason let's first modify it so that I write here hello, and I save it, Let's try to compile it. Well, it says that method print message in class messages cannot be applied to given types. Required no arguments and found string. So this is now a string literal, so it is of type string. So this means that if we would want to have this here, this method must then take a parameter of that type. So if I write it like this, so we can say now that this main method is the calling method or the caller in relation to this other method. So for that reason I named this something from caller. So I will save it and let's try to compile it. So now it says that again it says about an error here. On line 27 it says that there is a problem with the it says that it requires a string and found no arguments. So the reason is now so that this doesn't work no longer, because we also here need to give the string some string argument or parameter. Well, I will write something here. So now it should compile. So I was able to compile it, but the method works exactly like earlier. But I will let's modify this print message method so that I will print the thing that came from the caller. So let's modify it so that I will instead of this line I will write something else here. Save it. Let's see what happens. So now you can see that these texts, they were transferred to the print message method. So this text hello, it was went to this variable, and then it was printed like this. So these texts are now, you can find now these texts here and here. So this way we can say that we now transfer data from the calling method to the called method. So this is the way to use these so-called parameters. So you can also, these are also called arguments. So this is now there is in programming there is this term argument, and these are often also called arguments for the method, and or they can also be called the actual parameter. And this then there's something from caller that is the formal. So I could write it like this. It's a formal parameter, so and it means that it gets its value when this method is called, and then also yes, and this I wanted to say that this also works so that it works like a normal variable of, or it works like a normal variable of type string. But you can also there is also a method possibility that the called method can transfer some data to its caller, and one possibility for that is a so-called return statement. And well, let's write a return statement here. So I would write here that return well, we can say some text here. Well, I can't. Let's put this word cool there. It's a modern word. So this could say now cool, and but it is now so that because when there is a return statement inside a method, it means that the method returns some data to caller, and this means then that it can't be a void method, but it must have some type. So in that case, when we return a string like this, we must modify this so that it is the type is string. We can actually compile it like this. And it works exactly the same, although I made this modification there. So it is possible, although the type, we say now that the type is of this method, or the return type of this method is string. So it means that it returns a string, but we do not do anything with the string yet here. So it is possible to call this kind of method without caring about the return type. But if we would like to get the return information from the called method, then I could call it like this: string and well, we can call it callee also, this method that is called. And then I could modify this so that like this. Let's put some new lines there. Like this. So now this method will return data when it is called, and it is stored by this string variable, and then we print the value of the variable here. So let's try to compile it. Now it's compiled and now we run it. And now there you can see that now this text cool, which was returned by the method, is now printed to the screen. Or actually we can say we could modify this further so that it would we could actually modify this so that it is let's see what happens when I make this modification. So you can see that now when this method was called, when we call this method, we pass this parameter here, nice, and it goes there, and then these printings are made, so it is printed like this, and you can see it there. But then also this now returns the value of this, which was originally this. So this value goes from through this variable, and it is added to this text, and then it is returned to this variable, and then it is printed. So actually this text now goes via the method to this string. So let's still modify it a little bit, so that there is one thing we can do also, that as you saw in this drawing, so that we have these methods here. So it is, if you have methods like this, we can also write some common data that is visible to all the methods inside a class. So I could write something here, and it would be like a variable for this method and for this method. So let's do that still, and in this case it must be static. We must have a static data like this. So if I write it like this, so I will save it to ensure that I made it correctly. Yes. So this is now common data. It is now outside of both the methods. So we can print that data like this. And also in the main method we can do the same. Let's do it. Let's print it here. So this name now refers to this common data, and we can access the data from both methods. And if I compile first and then run the thing, so you can see that, so this is printed from the main method and this is printed from the print message method. So you can see that both methods can access now the common data. But actually we could do so that we would modify the data in the print message method. Let's see what happens then. Well, I will put some x's there, like this. So now you can see, so this is not very good, actually very good programming, but I will just show this that so that you can understand the structure of Java programs, so that I'm now using this something common, this common data which has the content common data, and now when we start executing the program, we first call here the print message method, and then it prints the common data as it is at the beginning, like this. It prints it like this, but immediately after that it modifies the common data by adding some x's there. And so this means that when the common data is then printed in the main method here, there is really this, there are more x's there. And again, when it is printed here by the second call to the print message method, there are still the x's there. And yes, so if we would print it one more time, well, we can do it. We will print. Let's print it one more time in the main method. I will save it. So you can see that now, because now we modify the common data inside the print message method, and it has now been called at the end of the program. It is called twice. The print message method has been called twice, so there is twice these four x's there. So it is twice modified common data. But well, I think we have now studied the very basics of methods. Like we have studied how to call a method, how to write a method, and we have studied the very basics of method parameters, which can also be called arguments, and we also studied the return statement. But in the future you will have very many, you will see very many other methods. So I thank you for your interest and goodbye.